Hello, YouTube. Currently watching SmackDown right now, and they're on to the part where they're taking a huge rib at Mr. T. And one thing that really caught my eye was the recap from this week's Monday Night Raw during the whole Daniel Bryan Kane segment. And one thing I'd like to say is the editing, how they edited that together with their Raw recaps, make them seem like movie trailer, where they make them seem like movie trailers, give it that movie trailer experience of what I'm trying to talk about. That segment actually seemed better than it did when it was live. And before you flame me in the comments section, coming from a guy who is actually into watching a bunch of horror movies. Kind of made me think like I was watching a miniature slasher movie. It kind of made, of course, when I watched that live, my only thinking was, don't get out of, Daniel, don't get out of the car, just run him over again. Just do the, always like they say in horror movies, you always run the guy, you always put it in reverse, run them over, make sure they're dead. But, you know, with WWE, there's no PG way to fake running somebody over. But with how Kane's doing this, he seems like one of those old school horror movie slasher villains. And the way they did that, it really seems like they are, the rumors for that Buried Alive match at Payback seem to be more true. And one thing, Buried Alive match kind of makes sense to in this feud. And also, since Undertaker getting beat at WrestleMania killed the Undertaker character, pretty much a Buried Alive match would pretty much be the poetic way to kill off the character of Kane. Both members of the Brothers of Destruction are kayfabe dead. And one thing, that segment looked more like a piece of art than a piece of shit when it was edited together in that recap segment. Made you actually feel bad for Daniel and Bree, and made you hate Kane as kind of like this horror movie slasher villain. Like, you really want Daniel Bryan to ultimately kill the villain. And makes you kind of think like Kane might be planning to kidnap Bree at some point. And I was thinking about something along the line of this, like how Undertaker goaded his way into having a match against Triple H at WrestleMania 17, where he had Kane hold Stephanie up over his head and threatened to throw her off a balcony unless he got his match against Triple H. Of course, we can do this same thing. Kane kidnaps Bree, give you like the cliffhanger from an episode of Raw. Then the next week's episode, it's Daniel Bryan trying to find Bree, and like Kane has her in some location, just teasing Daniel Bryan. And then, final standoff, Kane's just threatening to throw Brie off of a ledge or something. And Stephanie's trying to calm Kane down, and then somehow Daniel just finally snaps on her, tells her to shut the fuck up, or however they can say that in under a PG term. Then he just goes off on Kane, challenges him, then accepts a challenge. Then as a twist, he throws Brie off of there, and then Daniel Bryan catches her. But that's kind of like what I can see out of this. And I hope that the rumors that they plan on having a buried alive match at Payback are true. Because that is one match we haven't seen in a long time. And it would be violent and unpredictable. So, if you have anything, if you want to, if you like, oh, fuck, having a hard time conclude this. And if you think that scenario is somewhat alright, or if you have another scenario, leave it below. Peace the fuck out.